So take the seat of one who practices and grab my bolster. We are going to stand on a tennis ball too. Be our opening pose of choice for this month. And good. Settle in. Right away, I'm going to change the cross of my legs. I want to get to that point where they feel the same. The pearl without any attachment. So, all right, let's just take a few moments. And if you've been sitting and listening, wiggle yourself in. And then settle into this seat. Balancing the crown of your head over your tailbone, even in your mind's eye. Sitting with the flow of your breath. Drawing the senses inwards. So the eyes soften, the jaw softens, the tongue softens. As if they're dropping deeper within. Bringing your hands to your heart and bowing your chin as you welcome yourself to your practice. Next inhalation, lengthen, lift your heart. Exhale here, and we'll chant Om 3 times. Inhale. Om. 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 Resting in your stillness, your vibrational energy for a few moments. Staying in this sit, we'll start to just roll the head as we've been doing. So I'm just going to place my hands on my thighs, lengthen tall, the eyes closed or gently open. Drop your chin towards your heart, and then just begin to roll the neck, the soft jaw, releasing tension from the top. With the shoulders drop, even as the heart lifts. No extra tension at the base of the neck. Not holding the breath. Sometimes that just happens. Someplace, reverse your circling. Maybe one more in this direction. Nice and slow and soft. And then one time in each direction. And I'm going to go very slowly. Tendency sometimes when we hit a spot that we want to just gloss over and go a little quicker. And when you're done, just drop your chin towards your heart. Lift the heart, lengthen tall, and start to create this half moon shape. So the chin moves over to the right side and over to the left side. And the next time the chin comes over to the left side, I'm going to keep it there. We'll turn it into twist, twisting towards the left, and then bring in a little bit of our flossing and let that head turn completely to the left, to the right. Maybe the eyeballs will also go as far over as they can to each side. Moving into the full twist. And staying fully in the twist, turning the head to look over the right shoulder. And when it comes over, you can even tilt it with the ears tilting down. Yes. Inhale, release, come out, pause, change the legs if need be, stretch them out, do whatever your interlude time. Okay, I'm going to come in the same way. So we'll bring the chin down and then roll it over to the right. So the chin is over the right side. Move into the twist shape. And then begin your flossing, but really turning that head as much as you can. Open the chest and move the eyes. Move with the breath. And settling into the twist. Turning the head all the way to everything, still twisting to the right. The head turns to the left. Maybe a little. This is also actually, as we're in this, and I can see myself, this is a pose we see some of the goddesses depicted in as well. this listening, opening, twisting, evolving, and release. And then come back to your center. Okay. And put the hands behind and put the feet on the floor and do a little of this seated windshield wiper. I'm going to add the shoulders right away. So as the knees come to one side, the opposite shoulder pulls, and you look over and rolling, waking up. Okay, come to your center. I'm going to walk the feet in, shake the wrists, give yourself a little hug. So this is always my wrap. I'm going to switch it, drop the head, and I'm going to press the heart space back, the belly back. Drop the shoulders down. Imagine you can lengthen the back of your neck. Not even imagine, just do it. Good. Okay. Well, I say well, because we are going to come up to standing, but I'm going to take this into a boat pose. We did this last class, so whether you're sitting on something or not, you take your hands back and just lift your feet up, and maybe, yeah, and you can be here. I work on lifting the chest, spread the toes, maybe the hands come off the floor. You're just like, wow. Okay, take one more breath. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to come into a cross-legged here and see if I can bring this up to standing. So slow, because that's where you feel the flow, and whatever works, bring yourself upright, and I'll move this or what we were sitting on off out of the way. Grab your good friend tennis ball. How are you? Okay, great. I'm going to start with my left foot, and normally I always start with the right. And just mushing and breathing and feeling all of that. And maybe you want to find a spot and push down and like you're grinding it in. But whatever works here, the rolling, the pressing, breathing. You know, I pat my belly because sometimes when I do this, I feel tension come in here. Maybe you're feeling that too. Just want everything to know we're making space. We're creating those pearls. And pearls sometimes, happen from stagnancy, and things become that piece of grit. It just sits there, and then fluid forms around it. Calcification happens, and this is the process of becoming a pearl and an oyster, and that kind of stuff happens within us too. And maybe we're crushing that pearl before it becomes they call it a burster. I don't know. When fluid is trapped, generally it's protecting something. Okay, I'm going to take one more moment, and I'm just going to move into that where the heel's on the floor, the toes are up. I'm going to anchor. I'm going to lift the arms up, just take a stretch. And then step off the ball. And let's come to this. Before we do the other side, let's roll the hips. And at the same time as you rolling your hips, let your feet move. So I've lifted the toes up, and the feet are rolling on the outskirts of the feet, and the knees are going, and I'm going to reverse this, and hips are like, oh, we got it. We're breathing. Yes. Moving. Good. Okay. Just going to go front to back. I'm coming up on the heels, I'm coming back on the toes, and heels are lifting, toes are lifting, and then I'll plant those feet down and prepare for the second side. Oh, my right foot's like, finally, my turn. Because they're all talking to us all the time, these body parts. Oh. I'm just going to move into that reverse, really anchor down, with the arms up again. Just feel that root to rise, that push into the ball with the foot, and then reaching up is feel longer. Good. Okay. And then we'll step down. Oh, great feet. Good. Okay, I'm just going to set the ball aside. And we did this last class too, where we bent the knees and you put your hands maybe right on the kneecaps, and we'll start to move the knees so you can feel, you get a lot of cracking, and or you feel like something there. You're just working out the pearls. Good. I'm going to go one time in each, maybe a few times in each direction. I'm just changing again. Good. Okay. And then let's do this, like where you kind of bounce into this, but I'm an 80s bounce. And I'm going to take the arms out, and I'm going to sit in here. This is Utkatasana, powerful pose. If this feels okay, just sending the tailbone back, reaching the arms, and then rise up. And let's take it to forward fold. Any way you like. You take your hands down, rest your forearms on your thighs. I've just heel-toed my feet a little wider apart, just looking for some space. And knees can be bent straight. One more breath. And then we'll really plant the feet, bend the knees, send the hips back so the weight moves into the heels, and slowly roll up. Roll up. And as you come up, maybe you pause, just relax for a moment. Inhale, sweep your arms straight up. Let's take 3 breaths here in this reaching as you inhale. Exhale. Okay, I'm just going to turn to face you. We'll stay this way. I'm going to take the hands down to the hips to start here. I'm going to bend the knees. We'll shift the weight. I'm going over to the left side. I'm going to lift the right leg up and just see what happens. And then bend the left knee, foot down, and just like slowly sway and just see what happens here. Maybe the arms start to come out and up as you And that's going to shift the balance too, right? So just going maybe a few more times. And feel. Good. Okay, one more time on each side. Which side? I started on the left. So come over to the left side. And then stand on your 2 feet. Feel. You can rock front to back. Things that carry us throughout our life. Okay, we're gonna come into tree pose. So find your mountain pose. Stand nice and tall. And we're gonna shift the weight onto the right foot because I tend to start on the left. Lift the heel. Take your time. Grab it. You know, you can always use a wall. Ooh, you know, sometimes when I really wobble, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Now I get to feel where the imbalance is. Reaching the arms straight up. Soften the toes of the left foot and really planting that heel into the leg. One more breath. Some days it's there and some days it's not. As I come out, because I'm still here, I'm going to let the leg swing until the balance is gone. And yeah, whatever. Hips. Yes. Then we'll come back and find tree pose on the second side. So start in mountain pose, standing strong and tall, and shift the weight, lift the heel, and find your tree, whatever it is today. Strong roots, strong branches, and a powerful trunk to nourish and feed them all. Wherever it is. Where you plant your gaze matters. And a smile sometimes really helps. It's like, you know, I just fell out. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more breaths. Find it. And then we'll release that leg and shake it. Good. Okay. Okay, we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So if you like blocks, bring them in. And just heel toe your feet, comfortable distance. And parallel the feet, hands on the hips. I'm going to start by lifting the heart. When I send the tail back, move the shoulders back and start to come down. And maybe if you're okay here in the halfway, just pause in the halfway and push your thighs back and move the shoulders back. Look down and then slide. If your hands are on your thighs, maybe the hands slide down the leg. And then they can stay on the feet or come in front of you. Release the head. And if you're comfortable here with the head, crown of the head going down, I'm actually going to interlace the fingers behind the head and just push the head into the hands. And lengthen the back of the neck and widen the elbows out and just breathe. Release your hands to the floor. Okay, I'm going to turn the right foot out maybe 30 degrees and bend the knee. Keep the left foot down and then look over to the left side. And then roll yourself over. As I roll, I'm going to turn the left foot out and bring the right foot in. Just bending the knee. We'll just do that a few times so you don't have to go that far. Okay, and then we're going to hang out on the right side. You can just stay here, but maybe the hands walk more to the right and put the weight into the hands as I drop down. But it doesn't matter. Just here. Maybe you're here, and maybe you're like, oh, look at that. And then you just flow to, or take your time if you're just getting there. Or the second side, and nice and slow, see what's possible today. Maybe it's 1 second there. It's like, okay, I'm done. Okay. Bring it up. And find your way back to this half forward fold place. And from here, we'll heel toe the feet to a comfortable distance where you can come up. And we'll come up the same way we did. We'll bend the knees, send the hips back, and then roll up. And the tailbones drop and roll up. Once you come up, stand and breathe. Great. gonna bring the legs together. You have a wall. If you don't have a wall, we're gonna do, okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the standing or the forward bend with the hips at the wall, maybe blocks. So, and if you don't have a wall, you just, not just, you'll do a forward bend. And you could use your blocks. And just snuggle the hips at the wall. Feet are gonna be hopefully, like they're quite a bit in front of the wall. And they're parallel to each other. Hands on the blocks. Coming to this half forward fold. We're actually lifting the belly up and the heart up and back of the neck. You feel the feet. And the hip bones or the sit bones of the wall. Find that connection of your sit bones, crown of the head, even wherever you are. You might bend the knees. Okay. And then exhale and fold. Best as you can. So bend the knees if you need to. So. Okay, one more breath. And then find your blocks again. Find a half forward fold. And we'll bend the knees and let the hips slide down the wall. We'll come up to sitting. So your hands can come to your thighs first. And be at a higher angle if that's better. And start to bring it down. Or the muscle burn. I'm lifting the toes. Keep the shoulders back. Head to the wall. Smile. And press yourself back up. Okay, we'll take a moment break. So once you come out, you can just come away from the wall and pause. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. So I know the wall is there. I'm away from the wall. I'm gonna put my hands in prayer and take the hips back. And I know it's gonna hit eventually, even if it's a fall. And then find your half forward fold again. My hands are on the blocks. You can imagine that my sit bones and crown of the head are in line. Inhale. And exhale and fold. With a full breath in and out here. Okay, and then we'll come back up to that half. So we're straightening the arms, lifting the heart, the back of the head, sit down in the legs, and come back to that sitting. Whatever it is here, if you're good, you lift your arms up, lift the toes up. One more breath. We'll press up. Okay, stay here. I'm gonna walk the left foot in a little bit so I can bring the right knee in. Just see if this is number one. Okay, here's number two. I'm gonna cross the ankle over the knee and start to come forward. I'm gonna keep the sit bones at the wall. Whatever you do here. If this is too much, straighten the leg more, bend down more if you can sit down more and breathe. Okay, and then find your way out. Okay, let's come back to standing just to be with that. And if you need to shake it, feel that. Okay, I'm gonna take the hands to the heart and sit the hips back. I know the wall is there. You'll find it. Here it is. And we'll come down to that half forward fold. Put your feet wherever you need because we did adjust them. Find your sit bones at the wall. I'm literally wiggling into the wall. Feel the sit bones lengthen from the sit bones to the crown of the head. Exhale and fold. Be with this. Releasing the crown of the head, the eyes. And you can feel a release in your back. And coming back up to that half forward fold. Bending the knees. And coming into the sitting at the wall. Just feel. And wherever you are, take one breath. And then we'll straighten. You're gonna bring the right foot in a little bit more to center, so I can catch that left knee. And you can stay here, or any variation, you know, create for yourself. And cross that ankle over knee and start to take it down and forward into any place here for your own strength and vitality. A nice breath. Give yourself a kudos. Okay, and then extricate yourself out anyway and come to standing and feeling. Friends. So I'm going to come down for squat. You have your blocks and create the house you need. You can use them. See, I'm going to say use the wall. Okay, I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to take my back to the wall. Maybe that's your squat. Oh, that's nice, actually. Oh, okay, my hips are not on the floor and everything's there, and I'm on the feet. And little child's pose here with your back to the wall. If this feels nice, you could have your tush right on the floor. Getting that deep hip flexion is happening. Oh, now I'm coming down to sit. Great. Okay, now you're down. And stretch your legs out and separate them and do this, good friend. And pause. Well, I'm going to move forward, so put the hands down. So rock those hips towards the heels. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to come to this. You know, I sat like this in the kindergarten the other day. My kid goes, "You're a mermaid." Oh, yes. I think I told that. It was so cute. Okay, so sit like this, and then you decide if you need extra weight or extra cushioning. Like if it's pulling too much in the inner thigh on the right side, then lift up the left side. But we're going to do the same thing we did the other day, which was we're going to move it nice and slow. But this, so this is the pulling action coming up that is nice for the core. So set yourself up. You can wiggle yourself in. And we'll come in, we'll start like really slowly. So once you're here and find this length, okay, again, assess. Do you need a prop, a blanket underneath your left hip? You bring the hands together, and we're just going to turn to the left. And as you turn, you know, you can come down and then just bring it back. And as I do this, yeah, you can put your hands down, of course. I'm lifting the right hip and lowering it. So I'm not going that far. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to turn as far as I can to the left, lower down, put the hands down this time, bend the elbows, and stretch that right leg back. Okay. And then we'll come up. And you can use your hands as you lift yourself up. Let's just take advantage of this awkward side bend that happens here. So just windmill the arms over. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll do it again. Maybe the hands come down, or you can take just the left hand down, reach the right arm, and see what happens. And then we'll come back and move to awkward side bend. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to stretch the left hand back and the right arm forward as I reach. See what happens. And then come back up. And as I come up, I'm going to take this right leg, bring it into a cross-legged, and just give the body. Okay, we're going to take the left leg back. So if you're sitting on something, you just move it over. You're going to bring the hands together. Just for the hip work, I'll take the leg back from the side and then here. And I'll give you a moment to just feel or wiggle, prop up as you need. Looking for the balance. There's an imbalance, obviously. That's what happens. I'm dropping the left hip. So I can lift up. And then hands at the heart, and we'll just turn. And come back. And as I do this, as we do this, that left hip is lifting and coming down. And so I've done 3. Now I'm going to And turn all the way, take the hands down, and do this little push up. Take the left leg back and push up, and we'll flow like dancers in this awkward, lovely, awkward side. These places. Okay, now this time I'm going to spin that left arm forward as that leg comes back. Go to your awkward side. This time, you know, I'm going to just see what happens if I take the right hand off. But that's good to know. So now I got to do it one more time. And just go, oh, find stability somewhere. Great. Okay, you're here. Take that leg back into your cross. Nice. All right, we're going to come down. So let's take, let's make it nice. So I'll take one blanket down for the hips. I'm going to have this one going this way, and we're going to bring the bolster in. Stir, and maybe another blanket for the head. Okay. And we have a block nearby. I don't know if the tennis ball is going to make an appearance, but it's here. Okay, decide how close you want to be here. If you come down, you open the arms and let the heart open here. You know, with the support maybe you have placed underneath your head, that chin is sloping towards the heart. The arms are open in this like surrendering pose. Good. And we'll start with the feet a little wider apart, pigeon-toed, and bring the knees together and see how that is for you. Cool. Well, I use the word surrender, so surrender. Nice big breath in. Breathe out. And if you have your arms in the surrender, even if you don't, bend the elbows. And let's just move these hands and the forearms up and down a few times. Maybe touch the floor on both sides, and you might not. And the next time the palms are facing up, as if you're swimming, just let them extend out to the sides and find like a circling. The hands are going to move. I'm just circling from the elbows. Let your hands move. Find this, you know, everything is a sacred dance. And reversing this circling now. Let the hands move as they will. And turn these powerful energies on either side of your heart. And then let your arms rest, maybe straight out to the sides this time. And separate the knees, walk your feet into a place where you can move into a windshield wiper. And add the feet, like when we were standing on them and rolling. And my toes are lifted and I'm feeling I'm moving to the inner and outer edge of each foot. Okay. And bring your knees up, heel toe your feet right together. So the knees are together, the feet are together. And then your palms might go down, you might come in, just to, whatever, you're gonna put them wherever you need for support. So feel this. We'll inhale together. And as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right. And as they drop down, you take this left leg and just reach it out. And then we'll start to, I'm going to say a swing, but it's very gentle. I'm just moving this left leg forward and back, and maybe the toes touch on the side. And it's probably not going to go straight. We're going to be bending with the knee. Good. And then bring it back. Pause here. So the knees are together-ish. Lifting the feet up, and we'll drop them over to the left side. Always start to stretch the right leg straight out, and just let it kind of give a gentle swing. Pops here. here. And then rest the knees on top of each other again. And slowly come back onto your back. Okay, so I'm just separating the feet apart just a little bit with your hip distance. We're going to lift and lower the hips. So maybe the hands come down by your sides if that feels more supportive. Spread your fingers, anchor the shoulders, press into the feet, lift your hips up. And then lower them down and move with each breath. Feel like the tailbone is doing the lifting and maybe it's aiming towards the floor as you come down. And the feet are definitely supporting this. So a sacred dance. Our hip center, our pelvic floor, our sacred centers. Okay, and then just let it drop. This time stretch your legs out or whatever you want to do with your legs. I'm just going to take the arms back to that surrender pose. And breathe. Big breath in, stretch your arms over your head, wiggle your fingers. And as you exhale, maybe the arms come straight up to the sky and down by your sides. And we'll bend the knees. Okay, separate the feet hip distance apart. Let's bring the right knee in. And here, if the bolster is a hindrance, just push it away. I'm going to cross ankle over knee. I like the bolster because I get this, lower back curve happening. And so if it's not good for you, take it off. Okay, we'll start to just wave this leg package side to side. And then come to center. And we're going to feel like maybe the right hip's taking more weight so you can do the balance. So there has to be like maybe a lift. Maybe you shift the hips over to the right a little bit. Walk the left foot out a little bit. And then we'll start to wave this right knee in and out like we do. We are going to go to thread the needle. So that's where the bolster might be happier behind your head. It's going to give a little bit of, kind of like the hips at the wall kind of a thing. So I'm going to bring that left foot in. I can grab behind the thigh here. There's definitely, bring some extra joy into it with the bolster there. So if that works, great. If it doesn't, take it out. Also, doesn't allow the hip creases to pop forward. Okay, one more breath. And then lower your left leg, release everything. Let's come back to just a little windshield wiper, just to release. And then we'll go second side. So heel toe the feet hip distance apart. Bring the left thigh in, wherever you need to grab. And then just pause and see what you can do to balance your hips. You feel that the sacrum is equally weighted. Okay, and then we'll cross ankle over knee. I'm opening my arms back out, and we'll just come to this gentle waving side to side, just into these places that we get to discover on our yoga mats. Okay. We'll come to center, rebalance the hips. So we need to shift over to the left, or the right foot needs to walk out. And once you feel relatively centered and balanced, start to wave this left knee in and out. Okay, and you can stay right here, or bring that right thigh in, explore. And I release together. Mm-hmm. Take one more full breath. Big sigh. And release. Good. Stretch your legs out again, and arms can open. I'm going to come up to sitting. So I'm going to opposite interlace the fingers. You did already put the hands behind the head once. You bring them behind your head, and the elbows can stay out or they can come in. Start to lift, and you don't have to come up that high. I'm just coming up, shoulders off the bolster, head off the bolster. And then from here, you can either set back down or continue and come all the way up. And pause. Well, I'm going to move the bolster out of the way. I might keep this blanket here just in case you need extra support for the head. And we'll come to lie down in the chair sitting. So keep the torso on the blanket. Like I said, you might have extra head support here. You just want to have the feet at the wall. So the way I am on the blanket is it's kind of at the top of the sacrum, so I can feel like that little bit of lower back curve, which you've opened already. The feet are at the wall. Okay, just take my arms down by our sides, plant the upper shoulders, lift your heart, and then let the heart come back down. And then you might even lift I'm just touching here, the fronts of or the outsides of your shoulders up and looking back down. You just kind of balance that space. Well, I'm going to press into the wall, lift the tailbone. Maybe you come up just a little bit. You feel like you can come up higher. You might walk your feet up the wall and lower all the way back down, nice and slow. All the way. And then roll yourself back up. And wherever you go, you go. It doesn't need to be that big of a lift. Feel like that blanket under the head is a bit of a hindrance. So I'm just going to pop it out and do 2 more. Just rock it and over, using your feet, moving the legs. Good. And then when you come down, just going to settle back into that chair at the wall. Good. Okay. I'm going to bring the right knee in. And bring that ankle over the knee. Pause here. You can stay right here. And take the arms down. Just plant the shoulders. Push into the foot. Even if you just go so the tailbone lifts, you're like, okay, that's great. And then lower. Come up a little higher. Just whatever it is. We're going to do 3 all together. Good. And then once you've done the 3, I'm going to just stretch the legs out, put the heels at the wall, take a moment to rest. With the toes. Good. And then we'll plant the right foot, bring the left knee in, cross ankle over knee. Even if just that little lift of the tail, just rocking the tail, it's good work. So do that. Or if you want to explore it, you just see. I notice my hands want to tense on hands up off the floor. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to come all the way down. And again, I'm just going to extend the legs, let the arms maybe overhead. Hug the knees into the chest. Walk side to side, front to back. I'm going to move into legs up the wall here. So you can stay right where you are and just straighten the legs if that's a good spot for you. If you want to move into the legs up the wall with me. So we're going to hang out there for 3 to 4 minutes. And then we'll shift it to a Shavasana together. So be as far as close to the wall and Yes, I see socks coming on and all of that. Make yourself comfy and cozy. And, so I have the bolster here, and it's gonna play with this, dropping of the sit bones back that we've been doing quite a bit of. So I just moved the bolster up slightly, so I feel like the tailbone might be aiming to the wall or down in my imagination, not up. But if that bothers your back, go the opposite way. Bring the bolster down more so that you're more supported there through the low back. And surrender. Let the weight of you release control of the weight of you. I'll just surrender more deeply. Hip creases, belly space, back of your neck. You're really happy here, then by all means stay. You're gonna come out by bending the knees and planting the feet at the wall, and let the feet slide down as far as they're gonna go. Just created this very small wall, and it can expand through the back, more pressure there, which feel something releasing. Bring these feet up halfway. I'm going to push the feet in and just lift up to this modified shoulder stand that works for you. Just bring the palms up. Lowering the hips back down. I'm just going to wiggle myself back so the hips come off the bolster. Plug the knees into the chest for a moment. Shift into Shavasana with bolster support under the thighs. It's going to set up and stuff. So you can Making yourself heavy. Continuing to rest and gathering all parts of yourself, gently reawakening. In your wholeness, your stillness, your never not brokenness. Bringing your hands to your heart and bowing your chin, all that you are, all that is, all that will be in this great human experience. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. And seal this practice with one own inhale. Whoa. Breathe into your hands. Catch your sacred breath. Bow your chin. And then offer this. Anoint yourself. Bless yourself. All that you are. As you send those blessings of you out into the world. Beautiful yogi. Make magic. Have a great day.